She got an Oscar nomination for Peyton Place, Madam X. But perhaps her most dramatic role was taking place off the screen. Her life has certainly been touched by tragedy, a suicide attempt, 8 failed marriages, 7 husbands, and last year her autobiography became a bestseller, and now it's just out in paperback, Lana, the Lady, the Legend, the Truth. Yesterday I spoke with Lana Turner, who told me about her life now.
I am so happy because I'm at peace, deep within. I'm contented. There's nothing I want. I'm not searching anymore.
Right.
And that used to be my trouble. I was always searching, and usually I thought I could get it through a man.
Right.
Well, it turned out that I didn't. I just got a lot of trouble.
How do you account for that? Lana, what were you searching for?
My fault was I was taken with the facade. And when I fell in love, I fell hard. But I didn't take the time to really seek out the person, the real person inside. And you don't find that out until you're living under the same roof for a number of hours a day.
One writer said you were very gullible. One reviewer who reviewed the book said warm if gullible, right? A gullible human being.
Vulnerable, gullible. I used to tend to take anything that anyone said as gospel truth.
Right.
I was so stupid. I was, let's face it.
You married Artie Shaw, first husband, right? 19.
Yes.
Right? Now, what did mean? What does that mean?
I mean, I never should have. I hated the man. I truly hated him.
Why? How? I mean, how could you marry him?
Well, I worked with him in the picture, and he was impossible. Dancing co-ed. And, of course, he was Artie Shaw, you know, the big band leader. But I was just coming into my young stardom, and he was a misery. So then we finished the picture, and he said, may I call you? Well, I was going with someone else at that time. And I said, he said, could we have dinner? And I said, no, lunch, meaning at the studio, you see. Well, that didn't happen. Anyway, I married Artie Shaw.
Right.
Now, in retrospect, I know I did it out of spite to hurt this other man who had hurt me so badly. I did a dumb thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Lana, in 1951, you tried to commit suicide. Tell me about that. What led to that you were in such pain, in such
David,
trouble?
So many things. Yeah. It wasn't just one thing.
Yeah.
My husband had betrayed me, and I'd lost another child because I'm an Rh negative, and I can't carry. I carry out to 7 months, and I go into labor, and then they're stillborn. But he was gambling. I mean, just everything was wrong. And I was in the darkest, deepest hole that you can imagine. The public didn't know that because my beautiful home, my mother, my child, my supposed happy marriage, I had the world on a string, you know? But I just couldn't take it anymore. Now, I knew my mother and daughter, through my will, would be well taken care of. And for me, there was just nothing more to live for. I knew the marriage was over. I couldn't have any more children. It was just empty.
What do you think about when you look back at that? Here you sit today.
I will tell you exactly. I feel such deep shame and guilt.
Guilt? Why guilt?
How dare I have done that? Not only to myself, but to my loved ones. And you see, I wasn't messing around. I didn't want to be found. I didn't want to be revived. I mean, I took the pills, I slit the wrists, I did everything except stab myself, you know, or shoot myself. But as God or fate would have it, both bathroom doors were locked, everything, and my business manager broke it down and found me in this pool of blood.
How do you account for your resiliency? The fact that you kept bouncing back, bouncing back. How do you account for it?
I get knocked down to my knees, and I think, well, one more time, pick myself up, dust myself off, and let's start all over again.
Do you think you're better at it now than you were 5, 10, 20 years ago?
Yes, I'm such an entirely changed woman now.
What changed you? What happened that you were able to
Well,
turn those things around?
I was very, very ill because I was drinking. Now, I was not and am not an alcoholic. That has been proven by doctors and testing and all that. Mine was more insidious. It was just a constant something, that a sip here all day, all night. But I never got high, never had depression. But I was knocking the devil out of my system. So I became very ill. And then my very, very close friend, Mr. Eric Root, I came right off of a play that I'm still so ashamed of because I missed performances. I had a broken wrist, and I'm right-handed, and I was poking brushes in my eyes, you know, it would go into a spasm. So just a bad time. When I came home, he said, that's it, we're going to a doctor. I said, no, no, I'm just tired. We went to the doctor, and he took tests. And then he said, Miss Turner, are you willing to give up alcohol to get your health back? And I looked at him, and David, a split moment. It was like a light just came right down, straight through my head, right into the core of me. And I said, you've got a deal. And we shook hands, and I went for 2.5 years, just cold turkey. I was able to stop it. With that, God never lost me. I know that now. Yeah. I've known it for a number of years. But somehow in all of my befuddlement and confusion, I unfortunately lost sight of him. But now, and I'm not a born-again Christian because I've always been a Christian, but now I'm so close to God, and therefore I'm an entirely different woman.